Plant responses. Further information, you can go to plant perception or physiology and plant defense against herbivory and chemical defenses, individual Wikipedia articles. All right, yeah, so let's continue further. So like animals, plants produce hormones in one part of its body to signal cells in another part to respond. The ripening of fruit and loss of leaves in the winter are controlled in part by the production of the gas ethylene. See the pronunciation?
Ethylenes.
Yeah, so ethylene, which is a CH2, double bond to CH2, like that, acts naturally as a plant hormone. Which acts naturally as a plant hormone, so by the plant. So production of gas ethylene by the plant. Stress from water loss, changes in air chemistry, or crowding by other plants can lead to changes in the way a plant functions. These changes may be affected by genetic, chemical, and physical factors. MES note: ripening is a process in fruits that causes them to become more palatable. See this?
Palatable.
It's palatable. In general, fruit becomes sweeter, less green, and softer as it ripens. Climacteric. Yeah, so climacteric fruits ripen after harvesting, and so some fruits for market are picked green, such as bananas and tomatoes. The climacteric is a stage of fruit ripening associated with increased ethylene production and a rise in cellular respiration. Yes, very interesting. So take a look at this setup here. So figure is 1.4. This is from plantpathology.ces.ncsu.edu. Yeah, so phases in respiration and a ripening, climacteric versus non-climacteric fruit. Note in a climacteric, let's see the pronunciation again.
Climacteric.
Yeah, so climacteric fruit ethylene production is typically very low prior to the pre-climacteric minimum and increases rapidly as a respiratory climacteric occurs. Yeah, so basically here's rate of CO2 production and so also increased ethylene production and so on, and rise in cellular respiration. So increased cellular respiration, whereas CO2 is a byproduct there. All right, so what you have is climacteric. You have a setup like this: pre-climacteric, and then you have pre-climacteric minimum, and then there's a climacteric rise, and this is after picking usually. Yeah, so that's the after harvesting, and then there's a climacteric peak, and then post-climacteric setup over there where it slows down in its CO2 production. So that's climacteric, such as tomatoes and bananas. And then the other one here, rate of CO2 production for non-climacteric with time. So it's it's ripened, and all of a sudden it just goes down and down like that. Yeah, so this one you want to pick it when it's fresh. This one when it's unripe, then it will do it on its own. Very fascinating. And now here's a figure to compare the different types. So this is a blog.appealsciences.com. So climacteric fruits, you have apples, avocados, bananas, plums, peaches, pears, tomatoes, blackberries, apricots, kiwis. Then non-climacteric fruits, so raspberries, oranges, strawberries, grapes, cherries, lemons, peppers, cashews, etc. Yeah, so these ones you want to pick these ripe, and these not so. These ones you could pick them unripe, and they'll ripen on their own, which is quite interesting. All right, so to function and survive, plants produce a wide array of chemical compounds not found in other organisms. Because they cannot move, plants must also defend themselves chemically from herbivores, pathogens, and competition from other plants. So they do this chemically because they can't move. So they do this by producing toxins and foul-tasting or smelling chemicals. Other compounds defend plants against disease, permit survival during drought, and prepare plants for dormancy, while other compounds are used to attract pollinators or herbivores to spread ripe seeds. All right, so MES note, a toxin is a harmful substance produced within living cells or organisms, and synthetic toxicants. Right, you'll see the pronunciation here.
Toxicants.
Toxicants created by artificial processes are thus excluded. So toxins is produced within cells or organisms. If it's synthetic, not cell-made, over there, artificial processes that's excluded, that's toxicants. Right there, see that again?
Toxicants.
Yeah, toxicants. Continue further. So many plant organs contain different types of photoreceptor proteins, which are light-sensitive proteins, each of which react very specifically to certain wavelengths of light. The photoreceptor proteins relay information such as whether it is day or night, duration of the day, intensity of light available, and the source of light. Shoots generally grow towards light while roots grow away from it. In responses known as phototropism and skototropism, respectively. See the pronunciations here.
Phototropism and skototropism.
Okay. Phototropism, they removed the P there, and skototropism. So I'm going to call it phototropism and skototropism, respectively. They are brought about by light-sensitive pigments called phototropins and photochromes.
Phototropins and phytochromes.
Or phototropins, I'm just going to call it phototropins and phytochromes. Let's see that again. It's phytochromes.
And phytochromes.
Yeah, phytochromes. So phototropins and phytochromes. And the plant hormone auxin. See this?
Auxin.
Yeah, auxin. Many flowering plants bloom or grow flowers at the appropriate time because of light-sensitive compounds that respond to the length of the night, a phenomenon known as photoperiodism.
Photoperiodism.
Very interesting. Yeah, so basically flowers can sense the light and direction of light as well as how much light is coming in, and they can bloom at the appropriate time. Such as when it's not nighttime, and also move the entire stem towards the light. So here's just note the light from the lamp 1 here functions as a detectable change in a plant's environment. As a result, the plant exhibits a reaction of phototropism, which is directional growth, and this is toward the light stimulus. So this is moving towards it. So that's phototropism. So yes, shoots generally grow towards light, while roots grow away from it. Responses known as phototropism and skototropism, respectively. That's the roots going away, and then this is the shoots going towards. So it literally bends itself and moves over to the light, which is quite fascinating stuff here. Let's continue further, and here's another setup here. So auxin distribution during tropism of phototropism. So this auxin right here. So they are brought about by light-sensitive pigments like phototropins and phytochromes and the plant hormone auxin. There's a hormone over there, and so auxin distribution controls phototropism. So sunlight strikes the plant from directly above. So if it's directly above, there's the auxin hormone over there. So it goes like that. And auxin pink dots encourage growth straight up. So it goes straight up. And then 2, 3, and 4, sunlight strikes the plant at an angle. So it goes at an angle here. So then these ones start moving away. Yeah, so if it's going over this side, then it's gonna be more sunlight on the top here. So this is coming in like this, and then this moves. It basically moves towards it, and this is at an angle now. So there's more light coming in towards here, and it's moving upwards to it. And then as it goes even further, basically you're gonna have a whole bunch on this top side there. Yeah, so sunlight strikes the plant at an angle. Auxin is concentrated on one side, encouraging growth at an angle from the preceding stem. But yeah, so basically it can sense where the sunlight is going, and then it moves accordingly, and that drives the directional growth there. Yeah, that's very interesting. Let's continue further. I also just want to make a note. Yeah, just the diagram over this one, because it's empty here. I guess that's not as much sunlight going this way. It's more of it coming upwards on the top side. I assume like that. But yeah, diagram could have been a bit more clear, I think. All right, so continue further. So here, this is daisies, Bellis perennius.
Bellis perennis.
Bellis perennis, facing the sun after opening in the morning, and they follow the sun throughout the whole day, which is unbelievable. So it moves around and follows it throughout the whole day. That's quite fascinating. Yeah, all right. Here, so I just added this video here. We could see this in action. So this is from motionarray.com, a stock video. Over here's preview. I think you could buy it or something. But anyways, let's go and start from the beginning here. Okay, let's press play. So there it is, and it's moving. I'm going to move its 3x speed again on the time lapse. Notice it's just following the sun, presumably, plus some wind, etc. And yeah, it's moving all the way there. Very interesting setup there. And this one, here's another GIF. This one's of sunflower right here. And yeah, this figure, or these three figures right here, this is from this website, ucresearch.tumblr.com. And basically, this is why sunflowers move with the sun over here. So here's a time lapse of it, and you notice going side to side there. Just quite remarkable as the sunflowers over there. And so during the day, young sunflowers plants track the sun from east to west. So going from east all the way to the west. And the way it works is one side of the stem elongates during the day and the other side during the night. So during the day, this pushes up, and during the night, this extends outwards and moves left and right. So that's very fascinating. All right, so going further. So yeah, in addition to light, plants can respond to other types of stimuli. For instance, plants can sense the direction of gravity to orient themselves correctly, and they can also respond to mechanical stimulation. Very fascinating stuff.